In 30 days, I have to get to 1000 elo, starting from, I think I'm at 200.
And now we will move like, I will just tell you 3 opening principles and then we will test a first game. So, we understood in general that the center of the board is a very important area of a chessboard. Once heard a very smart thing, and is to imagine the chessboard like a mountain.
Okay.
From the peak, where the peak is the center, you can see everything. You control everything that is down. So it's a very smart spot to have control over the entire mountain because you have a good view on what is there, what is on the side of the mountain, what is down, what is in the valley. So I recommend you as a first move with both white and black pieces, always try to put a pawn in the center of the board. So now it's white to move. What would you play?
Oh, I would move the pawn on 2e or 2d. Is there like a difference between which one do we move first?
That is a good question, and honestly, they are 2 great moves. There is a small difference. As first move, either you move one of the pawns, 1 step or 2 steps, or what other piece can you bring out?
The knight.
The knight. In that square or also towards the side.
Yeah.
But we saw that
want it
we
in the
shouldn't go to
center.
the side. Exactly. So in general, the idea to push a pawn is also to be able to move out the bishop, the other
sense.
bishop, the queen. Because in general, the goal of the opening is to bring out your army. That's why I really like the movie 4, because you can bring then out the bishop and you can also bring out the queen.
But also on the other one, you can bring out. I know because it would be stopped by the pawn in front of it.
I mean, the queen is stopped by the pawn, but it's not a big deal, and we will see later on why. In general, I want you to know that both e4 or d4 are 2 great moves, and you can decide. I suggest to start with one of them. I think like e4 is what I would recommend to begin with. Just because it helps you to develop quicker the king side, meaning that your next 2 moves are going to be knight out and then bishop out, and then you're very quick to castle. So the goal of the opening is to control the center, bring out all your pieces, and castle the king.
Alright.
Those are the 3 goals of every single opening. And once we understand the goals, there are so many little rules that help us to respect those goals. That's why one little rule is at move 1, always place a pawn in the center of the board. So e4 is a very good move to start. Now, if you would be with the black pieces, I suggest you to do the same. Place a pawn in the center of the board. So what would you play?
Since we're going with the same tactic, I would go like the same. So with the pawn in front of the king. So then if I do this, then I'm freeing the queen and the bishop.
Exactly, perfect. Now, there is another important concept that is one of the biggest mistakes that beginners are making, and they bring out the queen too early. Why do you think they make this mistake, to bring out the queen too early? Why would you bring the queen out?
Because it's a strong piece and I want to like conquer and I want to get things. But
Exactly.
yeah.
So the queen is so powerful that it gives you so many possibilities. For example, a very tricky move is this one, that lots of people are playing. But this move has a problem, because you will realize that actually going with the queen out too early is more than a problem than the advantage that it could bring you. Because the queen is very strong, can be very powerful, attack so many things. For example, what is the queen doing from h5 right now?
Like it's attacking, like it's challenging this one and challenging this one and challenging this one.
Okay, now, can the queen actually capture those pawns?
Not this one, because there is that one.
Exactly.
Not this one, because it would be eaten by that one. This one, yes.
You mean by the rook, by the king?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So it's actually the queen is just attacking this pawn for real. This is a real threat, because this one, nobody cares, because they are protected. So the queen is actually attacking a pawn. So what move would you play with the black pieces?
I would do this.
I like it, because this move is protecting the pawn that was under attack. Is there any other way to protect it?
To protect this one, I could also just take out the bishop.
Alright. Other moves.
Then I could bring the queen here.
Exactly. There is still one more move, but look on the other side.
Oh, this one, actually.
Exactly. In general, once you are bringing out the pieces, move the piece out without blocking others to go out. For example, I don't want to go with my knight here on e2 because I'm blocking the poor bishop.
Yeah.
I will tell you now how you need to think every time it's your turn to make a move. First question you have to ask, what's the idea of my opponent's last move?
Okay.
And once you understand their idea, you can say either you need to defend something that they are attacking, or they are not attacking anything, so you can go on with your plan. What is this bishop c4 doing?
This one is attacking only this pawn. If they actually move the bishop here, then it could be eaten by the king only. So that would be the only option.
Are you sure that the king can take?
No, because then there is the queen. So you could
So
not.
actually, this pawn on f7 is now attacked twice by the queen and by the bishop.
True.
And is protected just by the king. Let's say black plays a waiting move. I just do a random move and white can play again. What move would you play with the white pieces?
I would do this. And then
Are you sure that bishop takes is the best?
you think queen would be the best?
Try to see the difference. If you take with the queen, what happens?
If I take with the queen, then it has to... No, it cannot take. It's checkmate.
Yeah, we saw this idea is the kiss of death.
Oh, yeah, true.
Because-
Oh my god, yes. All right.
So after bishop c4, we have to find another way to defend this pawn.
So like I could bring the queen here. If they proceed with the idea of doing this, I can still do this. And then they do this. Oh well.
now?
And then I just move away.
You can just move the king up. Don't you have any better move?
In this case, I could to take this one. No, also here. So it's hiding a little bit more.
You still have another move. Don't move the pieces. Try to focus on this position.
There is another move.
I promise there is.
know that
No,
one.
the bishop is giving you a check.
Oh, I could eat.
Yes, you can take. Every time you're under check, you can either move the king away
Yeah.
or capture the piece that is giving you a check.
Yeah,
so-
I was not thinking about that. Yeah.
That's all good, no problem. Now we have to understand, do we have even a better defense? Let's try to see.
A stupid thing,
Never a stupid thing. It's never stupid.
like a way that I could do it. It's I can just move the king here. So
Okay.
they could try to like take that one and that one, but the king is already here, so it can already eat that. I think no.
Because it's already protected by the bishop anyway. So actually after king e7, queen takes, you achieve something because you can run away here, but your king is not doing too well.
Yeah.
So king e7,
Yeah.
not... I prefer... What do you prefer between queen e7 and queen e7?
Oh, the
king
queen,
or
moving the queen, 100%.
Yeah, it's best because you don't lose a pawn, and that's a better move.
What else can we do? We could, what if I bring this pawn up by 1? So I'm challenging the queen.
You just unlocked a new way to defend. You are not, for example, you first defended just the pawn with another piece. You add another defensor. You could also add another defensor with the knight. From there, the knight is protecting this pawn. The knight defenses are one of the last moves that are becoming natural because the knight is a piece that moves in different ways, right?
Yeah.
G6 is actually the best move here because it has nearly no downsides. You can bring your bishop out there. You can then bring the knight there attacking the queen. You're attacking the queen with your pawn, so the queen has now to move again. So it's actually a very good move. Let's go. I move the queen here. It's your next turn. What's your checklist of questions?
Why did she move it there? You move it here instead of any other place because then you're defending this pawn. And at the same time, what else are you doing? Oh, we're attacking this pawn too again.
Exactly. That's actually
Okay.
very important.
Okay, we're attacking this one again. So we got again this situation, and again we have the same thing. So we have to defend again this pawn from another point.
And so we try it again, Julia.
All right.
How do we do it?
Here we do it. We could put the knight. Oh wait, we could put the knight here on. So we have. So the queen could still like attack that one, but it's defended by the other queen.
Julia, bravissima. That's actually really good. Hell yeah, knight there is actually the best move. Because here, you are developing a piece, bringing the knight out. You are protecting your pawn that was under attack. So it's a perfect move. Let's just list what other defense there are. So we understand why knight f6 is the best one. Other way to defend this pawn.
We could have just moved the pawn up by one.
That's true. That's true.
So then it's defended by the knight.
True.
That one. And defended also by the queen.
What is the downside of this
The-
pawn move?
It's attacking a little bit the knight, but the knight is defended by the tower.
So that is not a big downside.
Uh,
I would say that the biggest okay, maybe you find it. Go ahead. Now that this pawn is here, where are you going to develop this knight? Basically, the pawn is in the most natural square where you would like to develop your knights. Let's go to the starting square. To the starting moves, e4, e5. Where would you like to develop your knights?
Here, if I can.
All the four
Here.
knights. Yeah, also white. Okay, those are the black knights. And the white knights?
Ah,
if you would be
okay,
white.
sorry. Yeah, also here and here.
Exactly. So those fours are actually the most natural squares where you would like to be out with your knights in the openings. So in the openings, one pawn on the center, and usually the knights are going in those two squares. And now, where is the bishop? Where is this bishop going usually?
I would go like maybe here and here. So they're defending this and this one.
Yes, but that move has a downside. What is the downside?
It's blocking the pawn that needs to
it's
free
blocking
up
that
this
one. Yes. In general, actually, bishop c4, your intuition is great. The bishop there is very strong because you don't have to be scared. It's never too much unless you're losing the piece, you know? So that square is a very nice compromise. You're still in your half in a way. You're not overexposing yourself. But what is the bishop attacking from here?
It's attacking only... Oh, why it doesn't go?
But actually this pawn, the f7 pawn and the f2 pawns are the most vulnerable spots in every position, especially at the beginning. Because those pawns are just protected by the king. So if white or black manages to attack these points twice, as we saw with the bishop here, this pawn is attacked twice, they're threatening checkmate. Every time, so your opponent is not counterattacking you at the center. So if you can, you always go with the two pawns in the center of the board because they are so powerful. For example, first of all, is this pawn protected? The knight
By
could
the
take
queen.
it. Exactly. So it's not convenient for black to take a pawn for a knight, so that pawn is all right. Now, you are white, I play black, and you have to play the second move. Actually, no. Let's play from move 0. Go, Julia.
Okay.
What do you play? You always go with the two pawns in the center of the board. No.
No?
Every time you can.
True. You... yeah.
No problem. Let's start again. You're white. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that is attacked and it's not defended by anything.
Exactly. So d4 would be a mistake now.
Yes, definitely.
Because the pawn is hanging. So you have to defend this pawn. How do you do it?
I could defend it with just this pawn. I could do this, but I don't like it because it's not blocking anything. It's blocking a little bit the queen, but...
There is another move.
There's the queen here.
Another move still?
Oh, yeah, we did it before. That one.
The knight.
The knight.
Exactly. But there are two moves that don't have nearly any downside. The two best moves are either knight there or pushing this pawn. So, what are the three goals in the opening?
Getting to the center, developing your pieces, and castle.
In order to achieve this goal, we have to follow some other small rules. As first move, I recommend you to push a pawn in the center of the board. This is giving you the possibility to bring out the bishop. Let's say your opponent respond also with the center. And then you have to bring out your pieces. I suggest to start with the knight and then the bishop so that you can very quickly castle. What would you play second move?
I like the knight.
Perfect. You're also attacking this pawn.
Exactly.
Then as a third move, I recommend you to play, let's play just this move.
I'll play this one next to the pawn.
Perfect. And now what would you do?
If I bring the knight here, nothing changes. It's not like I'm defending something more.
So here you can simply keep going with your plan. That is, control the center, develop your pieces and castle.
So now
Can you move on in some ways?
Can castle.
Perfect.
All right.
That's how you do it. Your opponent is also developing a piece. You have to ask, what's their idea?
In that case, I think that their idea was to move things out so then they can castle too.
Are they also doing something else?
They're attacking this pawn.
So it's your turn to protect it.
I can move the queen here, or I could also move this one here, so then I open for this one to get out. Or we go for the knight. And I always forget about the knight.
I think that we are good. We actually had so many things.
Yes, my brain is hurting. Have a beautiful evening.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second. There is actually the director of chess.com Italy that says PogChamp 3.